Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you something super cool that I've quite enjoyed for some time, and that is to create a Discord bot that is powered by a large language model. So I'm going to show you how to do that. As you can tell, I can say, why is the sky blue? Whoops, I misspelled that, but I think it's still going to catch it. The sky appears blue due to this phenomenon. Rayleigh scattering? I didn't say that correctly, but you can say, give me a recipe for cookies. And this enables you to have the power of an LLM in your Discord server, completely available to all of your members. And this really kind of takes your server to the next level. So I'm going to be showing you how to do this. Let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is actually Ollama. And if you're not familiar with Ollama, it's an interface in a runtime environment that allows you to download local LLM models. And what that means is usually we go and chat with ChatGPT on chatgpt.com, but with a local model, it lives in your hard drive, gets loaded into memory, and you can do the exact same thing. Now, ChatGPT is very, very powerful. So there are some differences when you start to create complex tasks such as coding and really just planning that is very complex and more of a research pattern that gets created with these models. That is for models that are about 70 to 120 B in weight. These models here, depending on your hardware, range anywhere from 1B to 14B. I have an RTX 3080 and I'm just fine with an 8 to 14B model. So you can click down here and you can download all of these local models. I already have, I just downloaded Qwen 3.4B as we were actually speaking in the beginning of the video, and it says, hello, how can I assist you today? And so this is my local model. I can say the exact same thing and ask the exact same questions. Give me a recipe for cookies. And there we go. Now we're having the model think, and it gives me a recipe for cookies. This came at absolutely no cost other than it running on my machine. I'm going to place a link in the description on how to install Ollama, but Ollama is what's going to power our Discord bot. So that's a requirement. Another one is I'm going to be using Claude Code. Why? Because that is how we code these days. Things have changed. We don't do line by line anymore. And I've been a developer for 10 years. And honestly, I've kind of just adapted it to Claude Code. So I'm also going to leave a link in the description on how to install Claude Code. I would make a video myself, but many YouTubers have already covered this and it would just be repetitive. And so I'm going to launch my Claude Code instance here and let's get started. So Claude Code has what's called planning mode. And this is how you want to start developing your software. It's a moment in time where you guys can go back and forth with the model and really flush out how you're going to build the application. In this case, I'm a .NET developer. I love .NET and C#. So I'm going to say that I want to build it in C#. I'm going to say that I want a Discord bot. And I want to say that it's powered by an Ollama model. We can go back to Ollama and kind of look at the models. We can say it's Qwen 3.4B. And so let's just say that in one paragraph. And that's how you want to start planning. You want to start very vague and kind of give it the entire picture. And then you can go back and forth and flush out the little details as you go and start building this with Claude. So I'm going to say, I want to create a Discord bot that will be powered by Ollama. Specifically, if I can type it, Qwen 3. Was it 4B? Let me double check on that. That was, yep, 3. So Qwen 3 with a weight of 4 on there. The tech stack will be .NET 8 because it's long-term support. And then we're going to go ahead and say, okay, so we got that. That looks good. Am I missing something? That is very vague. Let's add a little bit of the character in regards to the Discord bot. The Discord bot will be only for chatting. Users can interact with the Discord bot by tagging the Discord bot with the @ symbol, or by opening up a private message directly to the bot. Okay, let's go ahead and allow Claude Code to kind of analyze this entire thing and see what it tells us is next. Okay, so first thing it wants to know is, where are we going to store this project? And so I'm in my current desktop directory, so I'm just going to say, that's fine, go ahead and create a folder. And then, should the bot maintain conversation history within a session? We can say yes, per usage memory. Bot remembers previous messages from each user during the session. Or yes, per channel memory. Bot remembers conversations context in the channel and the direct message threads. That's kind of cool. Or just no memory at all. I'm going to just say number 1 for now, because we want to get this up and running. We can always come back, use Claude to build additional features such as per channel memory. So I'm going to say yes. And do we want it to, how should the bot behave in a direct message? Respond to all messages or require a mention? Well, if it's a direct message, we shouldn't have to tag the bot, which is number 2. So let's go with number 1. And you want to configure a custom system prompt for the AI personality. Very, very important. You can implement this bot into your Discord server, and some of you have servers that are for drawing or hobbies like gardening. And so this is where you can give your bot a personality. And I'm going to say yes, we can configure that. So let's go ahead and submit that. And you might want your bot to be mean. No, not really. Or be a jokester. You can create a joke, a comic LLM bot or agent. There's so many words out there. What it ends up being is everything becomes an agent. And so if you have an application that is powered by an LLM, it's an agent. And so in this sense, we could say that we're building a Discord AI agent. And so you can have a Discord AI agent that makes jokes. And so it'd be a comic. So let's see what it came up with. Okay, so first and foremost, we have the structure of the application. And so the first thing we're going to see is just this CS project file that is necessary for .NET applications. We have our program file. This is the entry point of our application. So when you spin up the application, everything such as services and dependency injections are registered in this startup. And this is what spins up that application. Appsettings.json files are configuration files. And so a lot of times if we have a token or a secret ID that we need to write so that the application can pull it, this is where we do it. And we can see that it went ahead and it's thinking of creating the services. So we have a Discord bot service. This is the connection for the actual Discord bot. And then the Ollama service is going to get hooked up, which is an API integration. This is Ollama, and this is actually the interface. But what this actually does is it provides a runtime environment to be able to communicate with these large language models. Now, these large language models get loaded into memory, and when I send a message over to that large language model, like hello, that's actually hidden in an API instance that this interface has spun up. And so that's what's actually happening. So this Ollama service is going to do the exact same thing. It's going to go ahead and make sure that it creates the integration for that API so that our bot can go ahead and submit the prompts or the conversations that we have with the bot. The conversation service, that's to keep track of the pre-user conversation history. And then we have a handler. We need something to listen for the messages, right? Every single time that I go on Discord and actually say hello, we need something to be listening to those messages. So that kind of triggers, this message handler will trigger all of these services to interact together. And we have our models, which is our bot configuration and our conversation context. We don't need to know too much about that. It's pretty self-explanatory. And so the first step will be to create the project. and then make sure that we have OllamaSharp, which will be the NuGet package in order to set up the Ollama configuration. And then here's our app setting file, which I just covered. This is where we're going to place our bot token. We're going to need a bot token, so hang on to that. This is our endpoint for Ollama. Like I told you, it's an API endpoint, and so it seems to me that it's always localhost 11.434. So if you see that, that's great. Whoops. And then we have our model here, which it's been preset to Qwen 3.4b. And then there's your system prompt here is where we can customize our agent. And so I'm going to show you how to do that once we get it up and running. We're going to go ahead and create an agent that knows all about gardening. Right now it says you are a helpful Discord assistant, but that's not enough. Okay, cool. So it's going to implement all of this, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Yep. We're going to say proceed. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and build this out, Claude. And this is what's kind of cool about modern development is a lot of the stuff that used to take kind of a lot of, it was a little bit tedious to go ahead and implement like these files and make sure that this service was up and running. It can all be done now within a matter of seconds. And so we can see that it's writing code. Here's our bot configuration file. And so we have our Discord config, Ollama config, our conversation config, and we'll give it a minute here. It's implementing all of the dependencies here. So these are the NuGet packages, which is going to be discord.net. We can look those up. You can look those up yourself and see what that NuGet package is all about. OllamaSharp will be needed to go ahead and communicate with the API. And then here we have the app setting files, which we already kind of went over. So it's doing its thing. I'll let it do its thing. And while it actually does that, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set up your bot with the Discord application. So what you're going to do is you're going to navigate to discord.com/developers. Once we're there, we're going to go ahead and click on the upper right hand corner under developers. We're going to click on developer applications. You can see I've already set up a bot called Solana Bro. I'm into crypto, so I made one a long time ago. It was kind of cool. And now it's actually the one I showed you. So it's AI powered. It's kind of more from crypto, more to an AI agent. So I'm going to say new application. Let's call this one Ollama Mama, and we're going to click on the terms of service. I'm going to make sure that I am a human, and this should create the profile. Okay, now that we have the profile, let's go ahead and update a picture, and I'm going to use this picture here. This picture here is kind of funny because I always reference it in a lot of my projects that I deal with AI, but it's just a chick, a cool chick just smoking, not condoning smoking, but there we go. This is Ollama Mama, and Ollama Mama knows best. All right, cool. I'm going to save the changes. Let's go down to, that's about it. I'm going to click on the bot on the left-hand side, and I am going to click on reset token. Okay. Even if you just created the bot, it's just going to say, are you sure you want to reset the token? You're going to say yes. And you need to enter your password. I'm going to enter my password, and it generated a completely new token. So I'm going to copy that token. I'm going to open up Notepad, and I'm just going to paste it there. And don't worry if any, I'm sure you guys are not worried, but if any of my keys are exposed, these are keys that I know are in the video and are completely taken down once the video is published. But here I have my key. I'm going to store this to the side, and we're going to need that in a bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on message content intent. This switch here, we're going to turn it on. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and give the bot some permissions, send messages. I think that's all we need actually, because this message content intent should be able to help us with what we need. We don't need to worry about anything else other than, let's see, let's give it other permissions. So send TTS messages, manage threads, no, attach. We'll just do this just in case so I don't have to come back. But view channels is fine. And then we'll do manage channels. No, I think that's it. Okay, so let's do that. and there's no save button. So I'm going to go ahead and give it the permissions: send messages, send TTS messages, manage messages, and view channels. I'm going to go now to the installation section of the interface, and we're going to go ahead and copy this install link. And this is how you install the bot in your Discord server. So I'm going to paste that into my notepad on the side. There we go. And I'm going to use that to install it into the Discord server. Okay. So if you want your friends to install your bot into their Discord server, you can go ahead and share this link here. All right. So let's put this to the side. Let's see where we're at with Claude. And it looks like it's done. Build succeeded. Let me add a git ignore. The Discord Ollama chatbot has been implemented. Here's the summary. And we have our project structure, which is pretty much everything we already covered. And here are the features. If you mention the bot in the channels, the bot will respond when mentioned. A direct message can be sent, and the bot responds to all direct messages without requiring a tag. And then per user conversation memory, each user has their own conversation history, blah, blah, blah. And it looks good. I mean, let's go ahead and see it in action. Last but not least, it's letting me know that I need to edit the appsettings.json file. Remember, that's where we put all our secrets. So we're going to go ahead and open that up, and it's asking for a Discord token. Sorry about that. That must be very blinding. But here's our Discord token. And we already copied that over to our notepad. So let's find the project. It actually created a project for us. So here is where the project is. So it's called Discord Ollama bot. So let me pull that up. Okay, here is my project, and this is how it looks. I'm going to click on this CS proj file. It's going to open up Visual Studio, and with Visual Studio, what you can do is you can simply just click F5 on your keyboard. Yep. There's this button up here to debug. It looks like a play button. You can do that as well, but F5 is a shortcut, and this will go ahead and run the application in debugging mode. We can see it's running, and let's wait for it. And it looks like it knows that we're missing our Discord bot token. Okay, so let's go back. In the files, we're going to go ahead and click on appsettings.json, which is right there. Let me open that up. And we can see that the configuration for our bot is set in this file. So we need our token. So let's go ahead and grab our token. Here's our token. I'm going to copy. Yep. And I'm going to paste it right in between there. Did I copy it correctly? I feel like there was a comma added. Let me go ahead and paste it again. I always get paranoid with tokens. Yeah. It's been doing that. I don't know why. But I don't see a comma on the notepad. Okay. Let's go ahead and launch this again by pressing F5 or the play button up there. It's checking for the Ollama availability. And so because we've set up our bot on the Discord website, and we've set everything up, enabling it, it actually ran, and it looks like it's ready to go. So last but not least, we need to go ahead and grab our installation link that we copied over, and let's open up Discord. Okay. And I'm going to go into a dummy server. Hopefully this all goes well. It's showtime. And I'm going to, it's not Discord. I'm actually going to go into a new window on my browser. Okay. And there it is. Ollama Mama. Ollama Mama knows best. And I'm going to say add to server. And I have two servers, but this one's called CryptoFam. And this will allow developer of Ollama to create commands. Okay. So apparently it added the bot, but I don't see the bot at all. So that's kind of odd. Let me troubleshoot this. Okay, I think I messed up. The one thing that you need to do is go to OAuth 2, the URL generator, And you need to click on bot. Okay, and then bot permissions, send messages. We'll do manage messages. What else? Yeah, so that's the difference. I apologize about that. And then the generated URL is right here with the scope of what the bot is actually capable of. So forget the other installation URL. It's actually under the OAuth 2. And we're going to say it's a bot. And let's give it some permissions. So send messages, manage messages, send messages in threads. Let's see, manage threads, embed attach files. That's fine. Read message history. And I think that should be it for now. We also want to view the channels and then manage roles. It's not an administrator. And that looks good. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, which is our generated URL. And let's see what happens. Oh, that's for my other bot. I messed up. All right. Okay, you're going to go down to OAuth 2. We're going to go to and click on bot. And it's going to generate an invite link. I completely messed up. I copied the other link for installation. So forget about that one. You have to come in here to the OAuth 2. Click on bot. And we're going to give it some permissions. So it can send messages. It can manage messages. I don't even think it needs to manage messages, but let's do embedded links, attach files, because we're going to make this bot be able to do other things in the future. So we'll do that for now. Pin messages. Let's do mention everyone, use add reactions. And I think that should be it. View channels. And I think that should be okay for now. So now it generated a URL link down here, and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it into my browser, and let's go ahead and add the bot to CryptoFam. And here it's saying, hey, confirm that it can do all of these things, which are some of the permissions I went ahead and gave it. I'm going to say it's authorized to do that. And now we have... Whoa, why is it doing it again? Oh, that's my other bot. Now we have Ollama Mama. See, she's in here. She's in the actual server. You can see that. Boom. She looks like she's having fun. Well, let's go ahead and just kind of, oops, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and actually start talking to Ollama Mama. Hello, how are you? And I'm going to tag her. Because if it's not a direct message... Oh, she's typing. It says she's typing. It looks better than Solbro. I kind of like that. And let's see if she actually responds. So this should be coming back to my service down here. And let's go back to Discord. And there we go. How are you? I'm doing great. And so we have our first response from Ollama Mama. Well, Ollama Mama, we want to know how to create cookies. So let's start a private message with her and let's see if she responds. Can you give me a recipe for, let's do sugar cookies. And it looks like she's typing. She's there. So this is great for anybody to implement into their Discord server. Remember, you can give specific roles and personalities to your bot. And so I'm going to stop the application here. And you can do that here with the system prompt. And so in the app settings file, I'm going to go ahead and erase what was written. And I'm going to go ahead and say, you specialize in gardening and you have 20 years of experience. You know everything about plants, and every time you answer a question or prompt, you will always end the response with a gardening joke. Okay, she's going to be a jokester now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the debug button or press F5 on your keyboard. We can see that our instance is running. And so just remember, every time that you want this bot to be live, it has to be running on your machine because it's using your local instance of Ollama and you're actually the server. Looks like, do we have some issues? Yeah, it looks like WebSocket connection was closed. Disallowed intents. Let's see what's going on. Let's try it again. You can see that she's offline now because our instance is not running. So let's throw this into Claude. This might be that the port is already being taken into use and we need to add something in our startup to kind of disconnect or use another port. Let's see what happens. I don't know. That's just a wild guess. It says the message content intent is a privileged intent that requires manual enabling in the Discord developer portal. That's odd. So the message content intent. Go to the Discord, the app, scroll down, enable message content intent. I thought we did that. Let me go back. And now I'm gonna go to my bot and then message content intent. Yep, that's been enabled. So let's give it another go. I guess I disabled it. How did it work before that? Oh, it's ready to go. Ollama Mama is back. All right, let's give it a try. And now she's a jokester, and she specializes in gardening. So I'm gonna say, "Tell me about yourself." And she's typing. This is all being processed. This is very, very exciting. The pleasure of sharing your 20-year-old gardening companion. Remember I told her that she had this specialty in gardening? Specializing in everything from heirloom tomatoes to tricky succulents. And yes, I've been helped a few stubborn ferns find their way back to sunlight after a storm. I've learned that patience is the best fertilizer, pun intended, and that every leaf has a story to tell, especially when it's about how much you almost forgot to water. Plants don't need water. They just need someone to give it to them. Okay, that wasn't really a joke, but you can see that she now has really taken it upon herself, the bot, to take on that personality. So that's really cool, and that's how you can really customize your bot. Cool. And you can see you can have endless conversations. There's no subscription. There's no tokens that are being purchased. And that's the key to AI agents. For tasks that don't really require anything too complex or a lot of CPU power, GPU power, if you just want a chat companion, a chat bot in your Discord channel that everybody's going to benefit from, this is a perfect example of hosting one locally on your machine. And here we go, the exact same experience, or some may say almost the exact same experience as ChatGPT. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know what you guys did with your bot. I can always add more features to this bot, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And let me know what you guys think. Have a good one.